Hello everyone. Let's take a look at what Donald Trump declared in Canada during the G7 summit and what he said before leaving the event.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
Look, Iran should have signed the deal.
If it would help bring Iran to the negotiating table, would you guarantee that the U.S. would not get involved?
Well, I think Iran basically is at the negotiating table. They want to make a deal. And as soon as I leave here, we're going to be doing something. But I have to leave here. I have, this commitment. I have a lot of commitments. I have a commitment to a lot of countries, including the UK, where we just signed our deal.
Mr. President,
where are you settling on steel tariffs? The zero or the thing?
We're gonna let you have that information in a little while.
Can you guarantee the talks on U.S.-Russia talks? When will they restart?
They're starting already.
Mr. President, why do the European push to apply more sanctions on Russia? Do the US support that?
Well, Europe is saying that, but they haven't done it yet. Let's see them do it first.
You told me earlier that you could sanction Russia. Why wait? Why wait to sanction them?
Because I'm waiting to see whether or not a deal is signed.
Can you guarantee the UK won't be subject?
And don't forget, sanctions cost us a lot of money. When I sanction a country, that costs the U.S. a lot of money, a tremendous amount of money. It's not just let's sign a document. You're talking about billions and billions of dollars. Sanctions are not that easy. It's not just a one-way street.
And just quickly, do you think that Israel can...
Is that still proceeding even if it's sort of reviewed like that?
Yeah, we're proceeding with that. It's a really important deal to both of us. I think the President is doing a review. We did a review when we came into government, so that makes good sense to me. But it's a really important...
We're very long-time partners and allies and friends, and we've become friends in a short period of time. He's slightly more liberal than I am, to put it mildly.
We stand slightly on the left.
But for some reason we get along.
We make it work.
Mr. President, did you just say
Ukraine getting in the way of arming Israel?
There's quite a few British voters who worry you side more with the Russians over the Ukraine war. Can you reassure them?
No, I don't. No, I just, what I side on? Saving lives. I only care about saving lives. We have nothing to do with it except that Biden stupidly let us get into that mess and gave him $350 billion. $350 billion. And yet, despite that, you saw how we did in the Middle East. We took in $5.1 trillion. We have $15 trillion almost looking around that number going to be invested in the U.S. So the money is not the thing in this case. It's 5,000 young people are being killed every week in Russia, Ukraine. And if I can stop that, I'll be very happy. They're Ukrainian and they're Russian. So you could say, what am I doing? But I'd like to see if I could stop it.
Do you think that Israel can fully eliminate the threat that Iran poses, this nuclear threat that they pose, without the United States military help?
Who said that?
No, I'm asking if you believe they can.
Well, it doesn't. It's irrelevant. Something's going to happen.
Have you spoken to the legislators?
Traveling to the Middle East as part of any talks if it would help broker a deal?
Yeah, but I think we're doing pretty well. We're talking. We have a thing called a telephone, so we're talking. But it's always better to talk in person.
Mr. President, do you see regime change in Iran?
I want to see no nuclear weapon in Iran, and we're well on our way to making sure that happens.
And we've had a discussion about that this morning. There's in the G7 absolute clarity in relation to the nuclear program. We do not want to see it.
Mr. President,
do you have a response
about
any future tariffs?
What?
Can you guarantee the UK will be protected from any future tariffs?
The UK is very well protected. You know why? Because I like them. That's why. That's their ultimate protection. Thank you very much. The Prime Minister's done a great job. I want to just tell that to the people of the United Kingdom. He's done a very, very good job. He's done what other people, they've been talking about this deal for 6 years, right?
6 years.
And he's done what they haven't been able to do. So he's done really a very good job.
How was the response to Tucker Carlson criticizing you, saying that you were complicit in the war?
I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying. Let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen.
John Robert. Thank you, Charlotte. Where the G7 summit has been anything but business as usual. Former President Donald Trump made an unannounced yet commanding appearance earlier today, delivering a speech outside the main conference center that sent shockwaves through the international press corps and diplomatic delegations. In his remarks, Trump issued a stern warning about Iran, accusing the current administration of pushing the region toward a large-scale war. He stated, "If we don't reverse course, this will not just be a regional conflict, this will be an energy and security catastrophe for the entire world. He also pointed to Turkey's growing influence, calling it the sleeping power everyone's ignoring. Trump suggested that Ankara's diplomatic maneuvers with Russia, China, and Iran are reshaping alliances in ways that the West is not prepared to counter. But what truly drew attention here on the ground was the arrival of Tucker Carlson, just hours after Trump's statement. Seen entering through a private G7 security gate, Carlson has so far not spoken to the press, fueling speculation of a behind-the-scenes interview or strategic meeting. Sources close to Trump's entourage hinted at a possible collaboration, with some suggesting Carlson may soon take on a new role as a political media figure aligned with Trump's 2025 campaign vision. Meanwhile, European leaders were visibly divided. Some advisors from the German and French delegations expressed frustration over Trump hijacking the media narrative, while other conservative leaders quietly acknowledged the weight of his message, especially regarding Iran and rising oil prices. We'll continue monitoring developments here at the summit. Back to you in the studio, Charlotte.
Thank you, John, for your report.